Okay, so the tools you're going to need is a grinding device, so a grinder, an angle grinder to sharpen the blade if you plan on sharpening it. Oil, 10W30 is recommended. A 9/16 socket with a wrench to take off the blade. A 13/16 socket with a wrench to take out the spark plug. BPR 5ES 7734 spark plug, or an NGK 7734 spark plug, a 10mm wrench to drain the gas from the bowl, and then a 4101 Briggs & Stratton air filter. I'm going to be using a impact wrench to take off the blade because it's much easier that way. Okay, first things first, you're going to want to start the mower. Get the oil kind of warm, just run it for maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then just get the oil nice and warm. And then you're going to turn the mower onto its side. The side you want to turn it onto is the oil side. So where you put the oil in, the mower tilts to that side, never to the carburetor side. Okay, so now that we have the mower on its side, we want to put a oil pan under the dipstick tube and remove the dipstick tube and let it drain. And while that's draining, we'll take off the blade and sharpen it. Okay, so now that the oil is draining, we're going to go ahead and remove both blades. At this point, you can take these blades and you can take them to your local lawnmower shop and they can sharpen them for you. Or if you're DIY, you can do it yourself. Okay, so now that you have the blades sharpened, we'll go ahead and put them back on the mower. And like I said, if you don't have an angle grinder, you can take them to a small engine shop and they should be able to sharpen them for you. And it's probably like less than $10 per blade. So we'll go ahead and throw these on. Okay, so now we've got the blades on, we'll go ahead and turn the mower back upright and we'll take off the air filter and spark plug and put some oil in it. Okay, so now that we have the mower upright, we're going to remove the air filter first. Out with the old, as you can see, it's got a bunch of grass and debris in it, and with the new. So here's the old one, and here's the new one. You can see this thing is extremely clogged, so it's definitely been needing some maintenance. So we'll go ahead and put the new air filter on, put the air filter cover back on, and now we're going to change out the spark plug. Easily thread this in by hand and then tighten it with a wrench. Sorry, it just started raining here in Texas, which I'm excited about.
because we haven't had rain in a little while. Alright, so we'll turn this right until the point where it's stopped, where I can't even push it with one finger. And we'll give her like roughly a half a turn, and that's all it takes. The seal, the crush washer on the spark plug will be plenty from keeping the spark plug from backing out. So there you go. So now we'll go ahead and put some oil in. Okay, so this mower takes about 18 ounces of oil, so we'll go ahead and put 18 ounces right down the dipstick tube where you drain the oil from. Okay, so to check the oil, I want to go over that. Never screw it in. Okay, never screw this in. You just want to tap the threads and check the oil like that. And that's how you check the oil in your mower. And this was perfect. So now we'll go ahead and drain the carburetor bowl. Okay, so now we're going to drain the carburetor bowl. Go ahead and shut the valve off into the upright position. And we just want to drain from here in the carburetor bowl and drain that out. Okay, we don't want to drain the whole tank or fuel system. Take the 10 millimeter and loosen the bolt nut and let this drain. So it's just a 10 millimeter and a nut, and you just loosen it maybe a turn and a half, 2 turns. Get an old rag or an old shirt and let it drain out. Once that drains, then we'll go ahead and tighten it back up and put a little bit of gas if it needs it, or it may have a good amount in it, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I brought y'all into kind of first person mode here. There's a spring inside this recoil starter, so something I do is I find that where the spring latches on to the assembly, and I spray this lubricant inside of that spring to lubricate that spring. And I just use liquid wrench or any sort of lubricating formula or spray, and find that opening where your spring is on your unit and spray a couple sprays in there. And then also where your cables are in the loom like this, spray some in there as well. So spray some in there, spray some in the top of the handlebars like so, and just kind of work it in there. So work the spray inside the loom, and that'll keep the cable from rusting, and it'll work its way down. And do that on all your cables and your recoil starter. Okay, so now for adjusting cables. There's no really adjustments on anything on this mower but the self-propel cable. Simply the nut on here, loosen that up by holding two 10 millimeter wrenches, and you want to loosen this from the cable to create more tension. So I usually do it to where you can see about 2 threads and then tighten it back down. Not all mowers will need this. Sorry, there's kids playing. Not all mowers will need this, but if you hit the self-propel and it doesn't want to go, it takes all the way down for it to go. This is what's going to help with that. So not needed on every mower, but this is how you adjust your self-propel cable. Okay, so that was pretty much it. We went through the whole mower. We changed the oil, we sharpened the blade, we replaced the air filter, we replaced the spark plug, we lubricated, adjusted cables, we tested all the functions. So this mower is ready to go back to the customer and keep mowing for another, who knows how long. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, leave it a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.